Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Kobold Chats. My name is Kendo, whichever you prefer, and it's a beautiful, beautiful Friday. The sun is high in the sky, and I can be outside without sweating because, hey, it's fall. That's spooky season, late October. Halloween's just next week, and you know, I can just sit back, relax, get a nice cup of hot cocoa, and just let all my worries go away because I like cocoa, and that's how it does. But I hope you all are doing great on this Friday. It is the end of our week, the middle of our day of the end of our week, and maybe you're at home just chilling, hanging out. Maybe you're at work and sneaking a little watch while you get some stuff done. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm just happy that you're here with me doing one of my favorite things, which is talking about Kobold Press. And well, we've had like a really busy couple of weeks leading up to here, right? We had all of the boo hot weather. Yeah, I don't like the hot weather. I want to be cozy. I want to be comfortable. I want a nice chill breeze. I want hot tea sitting out on the porch, feeling the wind blow by, watching crows pick out bugs or whatever. It's a beautiful, beautiful, cozy time, which, hey, it's only going to get cozier once Riverbank gets here, and sooner than you think. So, hey, let's just keep the cozy times coming. But we've had a lot going on, like, up until this point. I mean, tell us a Book of Blades secrets. Oh, don't worry, we're going to get to Book of Blades, baby. Because there's not a ton going on in the Warrens right now. Mostly we're bundling up. We're getting ready for the big things to come. We just came out of a lot of stuff, so there aren't a bunch of announcements today. But that means we just have more time to talk about Book of Blades and some other stuff. So let's just get right on to doing it, gang. The leaves are so beautiful. Trees turning bright red. Yeah. Especially since I've moved from Texas up to the East Coast, seeing the actual seasons change has been a huge improvement. Because I'm originally from Missouri, so I got to see all of the seasons, sometimes in a singular day. But now I get to feel the seasons change at a regular rate, and I like that. All right, Jiro, what are we talking about today? Bam! See, we don't have a bunch of stuff, or at least not a bunch of new stuff. A lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, and we'll continue to talk about because it's important. First and foremost, we've got the All Hallows Eve sale. Yes, that's right. This scream of a deal is still going on until the end of October, so you still have a week or so to get 31% off of some of the scariest books in our collection, including the Tome of Beast 2 Pocket Edition. I do have an addiction to Pocket Editions because they fit on my shelf better than the big ones, and I can carry them wherever I go. But you can either get it in the soft cover Pocket Edition, or you can get it through the Foundry license key right here. You can also get Tome of Beast 2 Layers on Shard. But there's also PDF supplements and adventures that you can get, like our very favorite Rise of the Mimic Moon, where if you wanted to have your players fight against a moon that's also a mimic, you could do that. And who wouldn't like to do that? Who wouldn't want to fight a mimic who's also a moon? A very, very Majora's Mask, that one. But we also have new adventures, like Lady of the White Rose Manor, which came out earlier this year. And hey, guess what? For all you Midgard fans out there, it takes place in Midgard. And if you don't use Midgard as your setting, you can just plop it anywhere you want. That's the joy of PDF adventures, I think. You could just... Sometimes I just need something to go, and I'm a busy person. I don't have a ton of time to write up a whole thing. I just take an adventure that I can plop into my world, and we still all have a great time. What's the CR of the moon? Ooh, let me go check. We can check that out real quick. As in the CR of the moon mimic itself. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that. Oh, wait, I might have this PDF downloaded already. Let me see if I do. Because if I do, I can look it up really quick for you. And if I don't, you're just going to have to get it to find out. Let's see. So this is an adventure, 16-page supplement. It's a oh, this is a whole campaign. I'm so sorry. This is a whole campaign. It's not just an adventure. It's a campaign outline from levels 1 to 12, which makes sense because you're stopping a moon. So I imagine the CR of the moon is probably somewhere up there, and like 10 through 12 would be my guess. Hey, thanks for subscribing, Not the Gnome and Demish. Love to have you here. And so you can look at us talk about the rise of the mimic moon. Plus all of the other stuff, because there's some warlock layers. Not warlock layer. Oh yeah, warlock layers from back during the warlock zine days. So you have the whole warlock zine for undead in here for $2.75. This is so cheap. I mean, that's what happens when you get something 31% off, because it's spooky. So exactly, right? You can get this PDF. It's a $2.75, cheaper than getting like a snack at a Wawa or a 7-Eleven. And you have a campaign outline that goes from levels 1 to 12. 8 new magic items, 6 new spells, 5 new mimic stat blocks, including one of them being a moon. And it's all right here. It's all right here. Yeah, I also thought it was just a one shot until I read it. That's a whole campaign outline right there. That's wild. That's wild. So good. All right, so that's that. You can get the Warlock Zine Undead, which includes some just our old stuff from our 5th edition Midgard days. Let's see, the topic's undead. You get some undead magic. You get a rogue subclass, which you rarely get when talking about like necromancy and the undead. You get the Ghoul Imperium Deserter background, some truly skin-crawling planar locales, a legendary villain, and a new PC race. See, like, again, $2.75, less than $3 you're getting that. And there's so much stuff. There's no reason not to miss out on any of this. Like, it's all so good. I'm going to pop the link in here for the sale. You can find this over on the Kobold Press website. There's a little button that'll take you there. But hey, here's a link right here, so you can go check it out right here, right now. Hey, no, I'm so happy that you were able to get it. I'm super happy to hear that. One could say it eclipses other adventures. I need to get a sound effect for anytime any of you say a joke that's a little too corny, just so you know it's corny. Thank you, Vaughn, for backing me up. Yeah, Tomo Beast 2 on Foundry as well. Yeah, so, hey, great deal. You have until October 31st, so you've got another, like, I think a week. Literally you have 7 more days, including today. So 8 days, including today, to go and get on these. I mean, heck, if you were to go, what, 275, like what? So 275 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll round that up to $3 per one. That's $15 just for these 5 up here. And then let's say we throw this in one. So 15 for less than $20, you can get 6 of these PDFs. All of the PDFs, right? Less than $20. That's a level 1 through 12 campaign there. A whole bunch of undead, like, locales, spells, subclasses, new PC races, and another adventure as well. Less than $20. It's so good. Can get Kendo a soundboard, please? I love that. It'd be fun for all of you too, I would hope. So yeah, I'm done harping on and on and on about the All Hallows Eve sale. I think it's neat. I think it's cool. There's a bunch of cool stuff that you can get. So you're right. If you don't get it, you're missing out for yourself, so that's that. Next up, we're going to talk about the field guide to monster harvesting, because a couple of weeks ago, the first volume of the field guide to monster harvesting came out, and the second one came out this week. Now, what is the field guide to monster harvesting? This was a supplement that was one of our stretch goals for the Monster Vault 2 Kickstarter, which is now coming to fruition. Are there any special codes for the Monster Vault 2 PDF? Oh no, there aren't any special codes for the Monster Vault 2 PDF, just like as a general thing. As of yet, the game just came. It just came out, so you know we wanna save on it a little bit. But for the so the Field Guide to Monster Harvesting came out of our Kickstarter for Monster Vault 2, and basically what these supplements do is break down some of the monsters, both from the Monster Vault 2 and the Monster Vault 1. And also, this one's going to do some extra ones that brings you rules so you can live your monster hunter dreams. So you can fight monsters, break them down into parts, use it in crafting for both items, equipment, potions, all of that good stuff, and use them for their special effects that those monsters tend to have. And like, that's just like cool, right? Because especially I love The Witcher. One of my favorite parts of The Witcher, hunting down monsters, making potions so I can prepare for the next fight. Having all the stuff prepared where I'm like, okay, I'm going against the fight. Like, I'm going to go fight, this monster that has this like huge like acid thing. It lives in a swamp. There's going to be a bunch of poison and acid and things of that nature. I'm going to have to deal with it. Okay, cool. Bam, I'm getting potions that's going to reduce some of that damage. I'm putting on armor that's going to reduce that damage and make it easier for me to move through the swamp. That's the fun thing about being like a ranger or a monster hunter, I think, is like that kind of Batman prep time that you can do to make life better for you. The Field Guide to Monster Harvesting lets you do that, while also like in breaking down the monsters into component pieces, they then make them quest items that people could ask for, right? Oh, hey, can you go get me XYZ? If you really want to get like MMO with your game and be like, hey, can I get 5 big claws from the crabs down by the beach? Like, you can do that if you want. And maybe that's the kind of game that your table would really like. It's very versatile, is what I'm saying. You can use it for a lot of things, and I think that's cool. The Field Guide to Monster Harvesting Volume 2, where the first one was taking stuff from our Monster Vault and Monster Vault 2. This is taking stuff from Creature Codex, Tome of Beasts 1, 2, and 3. It's a 78-page PDF full of like all of these like different ways that you can harvest from monsters, all of their parts and what those parts do, both when you like add them to equipment, but also when you just have them by themselves. I don't have the PDF of Volume 1 in front of me. Do we have weights for the components too? Like if, as a DM, I need to enforce carrying weights so they don't break down every monster. That's a great question. I don't have the PDF open in front of me. I think I do have it though. Give me 1 second and maybe I can answer that question for you. Zero Drive, Cake. I imagine there's a good chance that it does. Field Guide to Monster Harvesting. Let's see. Oh, we're just gonna pop this up real quick. So this is Volume 1. This is the first volume that's taking from the Monster Vaults. And let's see. So these are like all the creature harvesting, the harvesting DC, so on and so forth. Spell components. So these are all general harvesting materials. Okay. So it looks like these, or at least the ones that I'm going through right now, don't have any particular weights. But also, looking at what they are, like what the things are, it's not like they aren't heavy things, right? We're talking about tendons, which, might be really big, right? But also don't necessarily need to be. We're talking about cephalopod ink. That's vials worth of stuff, So I imagine whatever the weight of the thing that they're like going to be carrying it in, it's really, I think it's containers is the biggest thing that you have to worry about. Maybe more so than their weight. A question, I have the Field Guide as a part of my pledge, but not Volume 2. Will I get that, or do I need to buy it separately? I already see Volume 1. That's a great question that I don't necessarily know the answer to. I can ask someone really quick, and I can get an answer for you, hopefully with soon. Hey, can someone... All right, I just asked that question, and hopefully I'll have an answer for you soon. Kendo, you might want to look at the table at the back of the PDF. Oh, great question. Okay, so here's all the stuff. Yeah, so this is the table that tells you what is the monster, who's the, like, what's the DC to harvest from them based off of their CR. How many of them can you harvest at max, and then what is it that you're getting here. And so yeah, you see let's see, I don't know what HI and FL stands for. FL feels like it's probably fluid. Eternal's humor. Yeah, this feels like I think they are broken down, and maybe this means we need to do a Kobold Chats where we just talk about this, because I'm fascinated by it. So they are different kinds of categories. Here we go. Okay, so we have categories like appendage, bone, hair, hide, fluid, or viscera. So this tells you what kind of thing is it, right? Is it one of their appendages? Is it a bone? Is it, the skin that you've had to, like, skin off of them, or fluid that you drain from them? Yeah, I still don't see anything about, like, specific weights, but also the different things. Again, I think it's more about if you have the containers for them more than anything else. Yeah. But so, like, hey, you're getting to see. So this is, this is it. This is a 51-page document talking about all the different stuff that you can get. Is it a fluid? Is it a viscera? Is it a bone? What is it? Where do you get? How do you harvest it from them? And what kind of creatures can you harvest them from? And then here in the back, there's a whole table with every monster from A to Z, telling you what's the DC. How much can you harvest from it? What materials are you specifically getting? So, hey, that's pretty cool. And then you get volume 2, which gives you another 78 pages with new magical ingredients and all of the monsters, or pulling monsters from Creature Codex, Tome Piece 1, 2, and 3. So if you've been a big fan of our monster books so far, this is just icing on the cake, right? We do great stuff with our monsters, and now you can also do great stuff with our monsters by cutting them open and using them for whatever it is that you want to use them. Awesome. I did get an answer to your question, Vaughn, that only Volume 1 was included with the Monster Vault 2 pledge, because that is a TOV product specifically, where Volume 1 is dealing with Monster Vault monsters, while Volume 2 is dealing with monsters from other books. So Volume 2 was not included in that original pledge. So yeah, hey, that's the field guide to monster harvesting. It's $14.99 over on the Kobold Press store, and I also believe Drive-Thru RPG, so you can go get that right now. I'm putting the link in there. You can go grab it, and you can start cutting up monsters whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. Now, before we get to Book of Blades, I promise you we're going to get there. I promise you we're getting to Book of Blades. I want to talk about the blog. Why do I want to talk about the blog? Because I love the blog. The blog is great. It's one of my favorite places. It's one of my favorite things to do, things to read every single day, almost every single day. You're getting a new article with new mechanics, new ways to approach the game. Sometimes you're getting subclasses. Sometimes you're getting backgrounds and lineages. Sometimes you're getting spells. Sometimes you're getting monsters or factions. There's so much that you're getting. The Kobold Press blog is great. It's so cool. But specifically, the reason why we're talking about it today is because last week I got to write a blog about something that I like doing a lot. I like taking games and I like changing them to do things that they weren't necessarily meant to do, but things that they're very capable of doing. And I like thinking out of the box about games a lot. And so when I was offered, hey, do you want to write a blog post? It's Halloween. We want to do something spooky. spooky. We got stuff that, we got spooky stuff that we do. And something that I thought about very, very early on was thinking about Necromancer, our card game, which, hold on, I got right over here. Necromancer, a wonderful card game that you can go get over on the Kobold Press store right now, where you and your friends play as necromancers trying to vie for the well of eternal life and trying to use it to your own aims. That's the card game. And I thought, well, what if I use this as a world building game for my next campaign? And so I wrote a blog about what does it mean to take a game, take a game, especially a game that's not a TTRPG, and what does it look like to take that game and make it into a narrative game, kind of a narrative game, to set up a TTRPG. So I got to write a blog about that, and that's what I did. So that's what we're reading. Let's go. All right. World building, one simple way to create a campaign by playing a card game. So, first up, what is a world-building game? A world-building game is a game you play, either by yourself or with some friends, that gives you the pieces to lay the foundations of a brand new setting or campaign. It gives you details about important NPCs, the history of your world, and adds texture to pieces of it that you've already built, assuming that you've already had a world that you were making. Sure, you can spend days to weeks alone in your study, scrawling away like a mad wizard about the minute details of your precious world, but where's the fun in that? Okay, we can recognize that sounds fun to some people. You're beautiful just the way you are. The act of play. So the difference between coming up with a story whole cloth and playing a game to help you get started telling a story is that the act of play changes how our brains work. When you have an idea of what you think will happen that brushes up against the mechanics of a game, it prompts you to think in new ways, as you must adapt to the reality of the situation. This effect is then multiplied once you aren't just reacting to the mechanics of a game, but also to the actions of your fellow players, as they are also reacting to the game that you're both playing. This is collaborative. This is a collaborative act that allows you to draw inspiration from the ideas and energy of your fellow players and create something uniquely your tables, just like any other TTRPG. So, in addition to this game, Necromancer, making it easier and more fun to create your new world, your players will also feel a partial ownership of that world that you end up making together, because you built it together. When details about an NPC that they made up appears during the campaign, you can be sure they'll tune in, because it's someone they already care about, and they'll be excited to see where that character is now and what they're doing. Your player will feel more invested in the setting because they helped build it. So let's break down Necromancer into its parts and figure out, okay, based on this, how do I turn this into a game that helps tell our story? You might wonder, how the heck do I use a card game to build a world? Well, we're going to break it down. So, assuming that the events of Necromancer are canon to the world that of your setting, magic is real in your world, and necromancy, the art of manipulating the boundaries between life and death, is a way that one can practice magic. Powerful necromancers garner a cult-like following of minions who are willing to stand side by side with undead hordes to help that necromancer reach their goals. An arcane source of power, known as the Well of Eternal Life, exists in your world, and these powerful necromancers want singular control over it. This well will give them the power that they need to reach their ultimate goal. And there are two ways to win a game of Necromancer. You either sacrifice enough minions at the well, or you are the first to have 15 victory points, which creates two potential starting points for your campaign. Either one of the factions already controls the Well of Eternal Life and is putting their plan into motion, or they now have enough firing power to take it very soon. With these facts in place, the game's purpose becomes clear. Your playthrough of Necromancer determines who controls the Well of Eternal Life or who is really close to doing so at the start of your game. So playing the card game sets the stage and the stakes for your adventures by playing the leaders of these factions and seeing where things end up. And as a game master, you can take the results of this game and weave them into your setting and build atop the foundations your players helped lay. All of this to say, and you can go read the rest of it, I'm not gonna, you can go read the rest of it if it's something that's interesting to you. But basically, I wanted to take Necromancer and find out, okay, how can we tell a story with this card game that we're doing, and use that to have all of us help tell a larger story together about a bunch of necromancers trying to get this well of eternal life for one reason or another, which you decide over the course of you playing Necromancer. Why is it that you're doing this thing? Which then puts you all at odds with each other, and like adding story elements to a game that's wasn't necessarily meant to have it, because it's a thing I like doing. There's something fun about role playing in a game that wasn't meant to be role played in, like Catan or Monopoly. It just feels, I don't know, it adds something to me, and maybe it'll add something to you. So if this is something you're interested in, go read the rest of the blog, and you can, figure it out from there. But with that out of the way, you know what time it is. It's time for us to talk Book of Blades. It's time for us to talk Book of Blades. Look at that bad boy. I love this guy. I don't know who he is, but he's sick. Dual sword wielding, the blue and red bold colors. It's a gorgeous cover. It's a gorgeous cover. So, what is the Book of Blades? Well, the Book of Blades is a whole book full of new martial art options. You've got subclasses and backgrounds, new, I'm sorry, my brain. I'm trying to think of the word. New optional rules and stuff that your game masters can throw into your story to help make life a little bit more interesting for our more quote-unquote mundane heroes who don't get all of the cool magical stuff like wizards and sorcerers and bards get. Definitely need to get this for my son. Always plays a martial classes. As a fighter lover, as a person who loves playing a fighter, I get it. I also love playing rogues. And yet, we never get any of the love. Oh, we do sometimes. But it's always, whenever we're getting love, they're always making us more magical. They're giving us shadow knives and magic guide. I'm like, no. I just want to stab someone. It's fine. I don't need magic. All right, so let's take a look at this. So in here, you can see there are new subclasses for every single martial class, which includes barbarians, fighters, mechanists, because remember, mechanists are not spellcasters in Tales of the Valiant. They are not like oh geez, I can't think of the name. Artificers. They are not like artificers. They are not spellcasters. They are martial. They are a martial class. And then we have monks, paladins, rangers, and rogues. And while paladins and rangers do have spellcasting levels, they're half casters, so they aren't really like magical classes, and this adds more martial stuff to them that makes them a little more martial rather than magical. Elder Starter loves playing a rogue. Rogues are great. Rogues are so much fun. I love a rogue. And then you see we've got new heritages, including Horse Lord, martial law, and privilege. We have new backgrounds, new talents, martial talents. We have new fighting mechanics, new martial actions, and augmenting effects. And then we have stuff here about helping tell stories about martial characters, right? Doing the fictional mentor student, what is it that excites us about being a martial character? Because it's very different from being a magical character, right? Where, you are, especially like if you're a wizard, right? There's a lot of studying the arcane, like magic, right? Your stories are around learning secret knowledge, mastering arcane potentials, things of that nature. While being a martial character might be very different, right? There is an aspect of trying to perfect your craft, right? Your martial art. Well, how do we do that? What's that story? And I like that there's a lot of stuff about, okay, what are mentors, having rivals, downtime activities that are specifically about being a soldier or a warrior, and how you bring that through in the fiction. Tons of new weapons, weapon options, and equipment options. You see rogue tricks. We've got gear, making booby traps, siege engines. You get some little magic here. You get some arcane punk. And then, of course, magic items, because everyone gets to have magic items, right? And then got new ways to fight. We've got naval battles here. We have new terrain features and how to use them both as a game master and as a player. We've got weather effects, heroic endowments, new technique forms. So, like, really, we wanted to help make your characters who are martial feel like they have more to do. Feel like they have options to do, where every spellcaster gets to choose all their different spells and find a way to tie them all together. How do you use your hands, your weapons, and your equipment, and your terrain, and your mind to make battle more interesting? And then we have all these character themes in here. So these character themes are basically going to give you some examples of, like, okay, you want to be a Beastmaster? This is kind of what it means to be a Beastmaster. Here are some examples from media that you can look at and get some ideas from them. Here's the subclass and class that helps lean into that theme. Here's the heritage and background, the talents you might be interested in, and some suggestions on how best you can live out that fantasy. This is such a cool, like, resource, especially if you are a person who sees all of the options and then just gets, like, paralysis, right? Where it's like, oh man, I have this cool character I want to do, and I open up this book and there's all this stuff, and it's like, I don't know what to choose because it all seems good. You can use these themes to go, okay, you know what? Maybe today I'm actually looking for someone who's a warrior of faith. How do I best live that out? Or if I want to be a witty acrobat, what are the classes and subclass that is interesting, that, like, works alongside that theme and helps me live out the fiction that I want to be living out? So there's so much here. It's 131 pages, and we're gonna, you know what, we're gonna start looking into it with the best thing that comes with any of these books, which is the character options. So let's start looking at, we'll look at one subclass per class, I think. So we'll look at one for barbarian, so on and so forth, right? I really love this idea of this book so much. Would love for it to be included in future TOV books. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah. Character themes remind you of Pathfinder archetypes. Yeah. Fabled items are really good in this book. They're also really good in... I loved fabled items. I love an item that will grow with you over time. Something with a story. Something that you can invest yourself in. Super cool. Hey, how's it going? Doing all right. I hope you're doing well too. So, let's look at which one of these barbarian subclasses should we look at. The first one here is the... Oops. Scrolling too fast. There we go. First one here is the Frostborn Raider, giving huge Viking vibes. Then we have the Undying Warrior. Ooh. Okay, cool. So is it two per class? Let's see. That's Iron Bastion. That's Skirmisher. Okay, looks like we're looking at 2 per class. So we'll look at one class each. 1 per class, sorry. Let's go with the Undying Warrior, because we've been doing a lot of Viking stuff recently. Let's look at Undying Warrior. So, wait, okay, cool. An Undying Warrior possesses a soul that has crossed into death, then pulled back into the world of the living by extraordinary magical means. Returning from true death is a turbulent process that shatters a soul, then reforges it entirely. Creatures who have such souls are often physically scarred by the experience, but they gain a measure of mastery over death. Those who walk this path can't be pulled into death until their destiny, the reason their soul returned, is fulfilled. So, as with Tales of the Valiant, you're going to get something at every level, right? So, and these subclasses help filling some of those gaps. So at 3rd level, you get Defy Death. When you begin your turn with hit points fewer than your number of barbarian levels, so at 3rd levels fewer than 3, you may expend one of your hit dice to recover hit points equal to the number rolled plus your constitution modifier. You can use this feature while unconscious, but not if you're dead. You're knocked out at one point Or actually, also this also works if you're at 0 points and you're dying, you can use this. You can use this to bam get yourself back up, and there's not a number of times per per long rest you can do this. As long as you have hit dice, you can do this, which I think really helps with the defying death aspect of it. There's a character from the Chronicles of the Raven book series this subclass reminds me of. I made an upgrade table for a fighter named Nyx. Gave her the Nyx-born spear. Ooh, oh, that's cool. It's a glaive for humanoids, but a spear for giants. That's so sick. The other third level barbarian feature here is you become possessed by supernatural wrath when you enter your rage. While you are raging, once during each of your turns, when you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can force them to make a wisdom save with a DC equal to 10 plus your proficiency bonus. So at third level, you're looking at a 12 DC. On a failed save, that creature is frightened of you until the end of your next turn. In addition, you deal an extra 1d6 psychic damage when you hit a creature that is frightened of you with a weapon attack. So much synergy there as far as trying to get people afraid of you and then dealing more damage against them. And also other ways. You get a magic item that gives you an ability to make people afraid of you. You get a talent or something. There's a lot that works with that. Feast of Suffering, 7th level. Your soul consumes ailments that hinder your physical form. As a bonus action, you can end one condition afflicting you and gain temporary hit points equal to half your barbarian level rounded down. So at 7th level, you were looking at 3 temporary hit points, but hey, that's still pretty good because you get to remove a condition afflicting you. These temporary hit points only last for a minute, so about a combat. This is so good. This is really a barbarian that refuses to die, and you know what? I gotta respect that. Let's see, and then we also have the 11th and 15th level. So 11th level, Vengeance Snare. While you are raging, you can use a bonus action to project your wrathful soul outward. When you do so, all creatures of your choice within 30 feet must succeed a wisdom save or become frightened, more synergy, of you for 1 minute or until they're more than 60 feet away. If a creature was already frightened of you when it fails to save, it is also paralyzed until the end of your next turn. The stacking of frightened is beautiful. Once you use this feature, can't use it again until you finish a long rest. That's so good. I'm trying to remember if I'm pretty sure for TOV going into a rage is it an action or a bonus action? I can never remember this. I don't play barbarians a lot. All right, give me some grace. But we're gonna find it really quick. It's a bonus action. Okay, cool. So you can't go into your rage and then do this again on the same turn. You have to at least wait a turn, which is understandable. And then at 15th level, Rejected by Death. Death no longer desires you. If you die and your body is destroyed, your soul remains. After 24 hours, your soul inhabits and animates another humanoid corpse on the same plane of existence, and the body returns to life with all of your hit points. Upon awakening, you recall your former life and experiences. You retain the capabilities you had in your original form, except you exchange your original lineage for the new one, if different than your previous form, and you change your lineage features accordingly. If you die, this is literally a character where if you die, you take over someone else's body. That's wild. That's wild and sick. I think the Book of Blades has sold itself already. IMO. In my humble opinion, that's dope. Amazing. All right, let's look at, so our fighter subclasses that we have here are Iron Bastion and Skirmisher. Let's do Iron Bastion. That's so cool. Okay. Iron Bastion. Encased in a tower of iron and steel, the Iron Bastion stands between its allies and all harm. These fighters excel at using armor and shields to protect themselves and other party members. They learn special exploits that take advantage of their armor and shield in ways others could never master. So it's 3rd level, you gain a new martial talent. Choose a talent to represent the way you specialize in protecting yourself and your allies. Armor Expert, Shield Mastery, or Vanguard. Are you great with armor? Have you mastered your shield? Or do you make sure that no one can move? Actually, I don't know what Vanguard does off the top of my head, so I can't say. No, because that's the Sentinel, I think. So maybe it's in this book. Next 3rd level is Barrier Shield. You have innovated shield use. When you are wielding a shield, you gain +3 bonus to your AC instead of +2. At the end of your turn, you can choose one ally to gain a +1 bonus to their AC until the end of your next turn, while that ally stays within 5 feet of you. In addition, choose one shield exploit that you know from the list below. You can perform the exploit a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses after a long rest. You get Iron Resolve. As a reaction, add your shield bonus to your wisdom save. Lockdown. When you succeed on a melee attack against an enemy within 5 feet, that enemy's speed becomes 0 until the start of your next turn. So it's more active than trying to wait until someone like moves out of your range so you can, opportunity attack them. Shield Bash. As a bonus action, you can forego the bonus to your AC from your shield to make an attack with it. In your hands, a shield is a weapon with a light property that deals 1d6 plus your strength modifier bludgeoning damage and has the bash weapon option. And then finally here, there is Superior Maneuvering. When you hit with a shove attack, you can push your target an additional 5 feet. When you are forced to move against your will, decrease that distance by 5. Ooh. Need more ways to play a ranger? Absolutely agree, because the fact that the ranger has any magic is like by default even a half caster. I don't want it. I want to just be a regular person going through the woods. I don't want magic. Give me traps, which is why I like the booby traps, honestly. So that's this feature in and of itself makes the Iron Bastion so sick. Oh, so good. All right, Unscathed. Protected by steel plates of armor and heavy shield, you can walk through almost anything. While you are wearing heavy armor and wielding a shield, and you were subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dex save to take only half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed on the save and only half damage if you fail. Beautiful. Beautiful. Barrier Shield Expert. Your skill with the shield exceeds what most would have thought achievable. When you are wielding a shield, you now gain +4 bonus to your AC instead of +3. In addition, you learned a second shield exploit from the Tower Shield feature. This is so good. This is so good. Oh, I think this is supposed to say Barrier Shield feature, because that's what this is. It was probably called Tower Shield at a point. But that's so good. Unless there's another. Yeah, no, I think it's supposed to be Tower Shield. That makes sense. Some things get missed in editing. Oh, that's so cool. And then Impenetrable. Your resilience in heavy armor and wielding a shield is legendary. Whenever you perform a shield exploit, you gain temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. These hit points last until expended, or you finish a long or short rest. While wearing heavy armor and carrying a shield as an action, you can cast Wall of Force with no material components. Once you cast the spell, you can't use it until you get a long rest. Great for Northlands players. Great for Northlands players. Oh, so good. Whenever you... the temporary hit points on top of the shield exploit... beautiful. And Wall of Force, just like a free one every time. It's so good. This book is so cool. This book is just so cool. All right. Next up, we have the Mechanist, and we've got two. We've got Clockmaker, which is wild. I feel like we're dealing with some... Oh, Clockmaker is going to give you some magic. It's going to give you a little bit of magic, and I think it's going to give you Chronomancy. And that's kind of cool. And then the other one is Flesh Smith. I don't know which to do. Clockmaker... Which one are we reading? Clockmaker or Fleshsmith? I'm going to roll a die about it if I don't get an answer soon. Odds... Clockmaker, evens, Fleshsmith. I kind of really want to do Fleshsmith. Oops, my bad. That's a 16. That's an even. You know what that means? It's the Fleshsmith. So let's figure out how the Mechanist is molding, crafting flesh. Other Mechanists create objects of stone and steel. I forget that there is a bit of a delay, so I'm sorry. Other Mechanists create objects of stone and steel, things that are worn, carried, or constructed. For a few, though, flesh is the clay of creation, and form which they coax new growths or bind creations with other living things. Depending on their background, a fleshsmith might grow magical vines from their skin, bind the dermis of an eldritch horror to their body, or use twisted eldritch science to graft parts of the dead. They are most known for their flesh-forged servitor, an organic construct that can be imbued with augmentations. A perfect Halloween character, if I do say so myself. Very, very spooky. And also, as a body horror lover, very much up my alley. I might need to play a Mechanist soon, because, hey, this is kind of sick. So, third level, you get a new augment, Shaped Flesh. You gain the following unique effect for your augment feature. This effect can't be replaced and doesn't count against the number of effects that you know, as shown in the augment effects column of the Mechanist. Shaped Flesh. Requirement, your body or the body of your flesh-forged servitor. So you can't use this against other people. You twist and shape the flesh of your body or that of your flesh-forged servitor. You improve the target by binding organic material to it. Choose one of these benefits. By enhancing muscles, you add your intelligence modifier to the target's melee weapon attack damage. The damage type is the same as that normally done by the weapon. Ooh. Oh, bud. Okay. By adding organs to increase durability, you add twice your intelligence modifier to the target's hit points and hit point maximum. Or by attacking thick hide or chitin, add your intelligence modifier to the target's AC as long as it's wearing no armor. Equine Soul. Can I put a vote in for Equine Soul early? I love me some... Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When we get there, we can do that. So, hey, this is pretty wild. This is the most mad scientist nonsense, which I love to see. So the flesh-forged servitor... Gosh, I'm having to say this word a lot. Give me a second. Okay. Flesh-forged servitor. You sculpt a small minion out of organic material. Your new servitor takes an appearance chosen by you, but always bears traces of the source material. It might be plant, animal, or abomination-based. Construction of your servitor requires a minimum of 100 pounds of material. 1 hour of uninterrupted time, and alchemist tools. In combat, your Fleshforged Servitor shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys verbal commands, and if you don't use any commands, it takes the dodge action and uses its move to avoid danger. Your Servitor has D6 for hit dice. It has a number of hit dice equal to your Mechanist level, and it can expend these hit dice to recover hit points during a short rest, just as a PC would. Excuse me. It recovers all hit points during a long rest. So, let's see. Its AC is 10 plus your... Excuse me. Sorry, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Okay. It's a small construct with an AC equal to 10 plus your proficiency bonus. So at level 3, you're looking at 12. Its hit points are also based off of your Mechanist level. It's got no extra senses, but maybe you can augment it at a point. Look, you can graft stuff. There it is. And then it's got all this stuff. It's got a slam attack. It's got receptive clay, which means that in addition to augments that list living body for flesh smiths only, as an item requirement, the following augments can be imbued onto the servitor's body: detecting, empowered, phosphorescent, propulsion, protean, and reinforced. Reinforced and repellent. Wonderful. Love that. So you can graft all of those onto your servitor as well. Doesn't do a ton of damage. You're looking at 1d6 plus 1 plus your proficiency bonus. You're looking at plus 1 plus your proficiency bonus to hit. So at level 3, you're looking at it's got a plus 3 to hit, a reach of 5, and does 1d6 plus 4 bludgeoning damage. It's not really there to do damage, but it is there to be in the way and be a jaunty little fellow while being a flesh golem of sorts. At level 7, you get a new augment, which is Graft. You gain the following unique effects for your augment feature. This effect can't be replaced and doesn't count against the number of effects that you know. Item requirement: you need your body, the body of your Fleshforged Servitor, or another willing body. You graft a body part to your own body or that of a willing host. This graft lasts until the target completes a long rest, at which point it molts off. This is the most body horror of subclasses, and I am living for it. You can choose one of the benefits. Acidic blood. You transfuse the target's blood with acid. This does no harm to the target, but when the target takes damage from a melee attack, the attacker takes 1d4 plus intelligence acid damage as it gets burned by the acid blood. You get dermal plating. The target gets plus 4 bonus to the AC as long as they're not wearing armor. Digestion augmentation. This target does not need to eat or drink as long as it has access to an unusual sustenance of your devising, such as sunshine or rusted metal or small rocks. I love that you get a lot of choice in that. You get eye in the back of your head. The target cannot be surprised. Why? Because you grafted an eye to the back of their head. This is my favorite subclass, I think. This is my favorite subclass. Spine projector. You graft a spine-covered bud onto the target. The bud contains a number of spines equal to your intelligence modifier, and as a bonus action, the target can fire a spine as a ranged weapon attack with a range of 100 feet. Each spine deals 1d6 plus the target's dex modifier, piercing range damage, and the spines regenerate when the target finishes a short rest. This is so cool. This is so cool. This is so cool. Absorb Servitor at 11th level. As an action, while adjacent to your Fleshforged Servitor, you can absorb it into your body, destroying it. You immediately regain hit points equal to its current hit points, and you are cleansed of blindness, deafness, disease, and poisons. If your Flesh Forged Servitor was imbued with an augmentation, you can choose to have that augment be instantly imbued into you. And then finally, Flawless Servitor. You have discovered new ways to improve your Flesh Forged Servitor. Your Servitor gains the following benefits. Can be affected by 2 augments at the same time. It gains multi-attack feature, so it can make 3 attacks with its slam attack when it uses multi-attack. And then the damage of its slam attack increases to 3d6 plus 1 plus your PB, bludgeoning damage. This is just great. Oh, wait, I completely forgot Third Arm because I got so taken in by Spine Projector. I forgot Third Arm. You graft a third limb onto the target. This limb is strong enough to wield a weapon with the light property, when wielding 3 light weapons, and the target takes a bonus action to attack with 2 weapon fighting. It can choose to make attacks with its third hand, leaving a hand free to wield a shield, a spell focus, or any other one-handed object. Have a great weekend, Dark Light. Hope to see you next week. This is hot dang. Oh yeah, we are at our hour mark, everybody. But I'm gonna get through Equine Soul because I remember. I'm hearing you out. We're going over the Equine Soul of the Monk subclass, and I think that's where we're gonna end it for today. Man, this is so cool. Okay, let's. I can't wait to see what this is. So the Equine Soul Monk. Certain monks learn to enter a state of calm, purposeful action when riding a horse. After intense training and meditation with their equine companion, it is as if the pair's souls merge and achieve a perfect harmony. The two move and fight together, moving around the battlefield and launching deadly barrages of arrows at their enemies. This is the Horse Girl of monks, and I love this for them. I already know I'm sending this immediately to someone. Horse Archer. Carried by your horse, you can be anywhere on the battlefield to rapidly launch a volley of arrows. You gain proficiency with short bows, and they are considered monk weapons for you. You also, legitimately. Twin Soul. You have found and bonded with the horse using a meditation ritual that takes 1 hour to complete and can be done as part of a short or long rest. Once the ritual is complete, you and your bonded horse share thoughts telepathically as long as you are within 1 mile of each other. As long as you can see your bonded horse and it is not wearing barding, you can spend technique points to have your bonded horse use the patient defense and step of the wind techniques. In combat, your bonded horse shares your initiative counts, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your telepathic commands. No action required by you. If you don't issue any commands, it takes the dodge action, and moves away from danger. It has a D10 hit dice, and it has a number of hit dice equal to your monk level. It can expend these dice to recover hit points during a short rest, just as a PC would. It recovers all hit points during a long rest. The bonded horse is a large beast. It gets its AC and hit points based off of your stuff. It's got a speed of 60, and it can communicate telepathically with you. It's got +4 strength, +1 dex, +1 con, -4 intelligence, +1 wisdom, -2 charisma. It's got a trampling charge, where if it moves at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and hits it with a hoof attack, that creature must succeed on a DC 12 plus your proficiency bonus strength save or be knocked prone. If the target is prone, the horse can make another hooves attack against it as a bonus action. Beautiful. You firing your arrow from horseback, then it has its turn to run, trample someone. Oh, so good. Hooves. Its hoof attack does 1d8 +4 plus your proficiency. That's a heavy hoof. That's a heavy hoof. At 3rd level, +6 to hit. Whoa. Oof. And it's also got a reaction trained shift. If the horse's rider is subjected to an effect that will knock it prone or dismount it, the horse can shift its body to assist the rider, giving that rider advantage on the check instead. Oh, that's so good. 7th level, Swift Steed. You and your mount work together with significant swiftness, and you receive these benefits. You can mount and dismount from your bonded horse using only 5 feet of movement instead of half of it. As long as your bonded horse is not wearing barding, its speed increases by the same amount as your unarmored monk class feature. That's so good. Everywhere on this horse. And then when you use technique points to use Flurry of Blows, your bonded horse can make an attack with its hooves as a reaction. You get a monk horse. The horse also Flurry of Blowing it. Flurry of Blowsing it. I don't know the best way to say that. Bonded Defense. You and your bonded horse are effective at fighting together. While you are mounted on your bonded horse, it shares your evasion class feature, and you do not have disadvantage on ranged attack rolls made against enemies within 5 feet. And guess what? Get real up close and personal. Pow. Right there. And then finally, Storm of Arrows. You can enter a state of perfect calm as you launch a rapid volley of arrows. As a bonus action, you can fire 1 arrow for every technique point you spend on this feature. And those arrows fired using this feature have the ricochet shot weapon option. Absolutely wild. Book of Blades, everyone. Book of Blades. And these are just the subclasses. There are hundreds of pages more of stuff. Over 100 more pages of stuff. It's great. It's so sick. Go get Book of Blades right now. It's over on the Kobold Press store. You get that bad boy in hardcover, or you could get it in PDF on the Kobold Press store or on DriveThruRPG. Let me get a link for you. I think there's already a link in the YouTube description, so you can definitely go check that if you've already got it. Well, hold on. I'm going to the store and I'm getting you Book of Blades. Where's the Book of Blades link? Bam, right there. I'm not in Europe. I do not use euros. I'm in the US, I use USD. You could get the PDF of this for $19.99. And you get the hardcover and the PDF for $39.99. Less than $50. The pretty typical standard, for these kinds of things. $39.99. You could just get the hardcover for just $29.99. You get both of them for less than $40. That book, it's I'm still thinking about the Fleshsmith. It's just great. Get over here. All right, everybody. It's been a wonderful week with some really, really sick stuff. So, you better go be getting Book of Blades. Everybody at your table is going to be so much happier about it. You should do it just to make them happy, make your players happy, make your game master happy, make everybody happy. And also, don't forget, All Hallows Eve sale ends next week. So, make sure you're getting that as well. And I'll see you next week. Yeah, the book is it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Well, everybody, it's been a joy. I've loved being here with you. I'm Kendo, whichever you prefer. And don't forget, I will see you next week. Same Kobold time, same Kobold place. Don't forget to go out, be bold, be brave, and be valiant. I'll see you next Friday, y'all. Bye.